Alright, welcome back to the shop. So today, been a little while since we did the first episode of this. I got out my tool bag that I use at work and went through a bunch of the stuff that was in it. Took a look at it. It was kind of fun. I had to clean the tool bag out anyway, so probably look at doing the same thing here, but with another tool bag that I normally carry at work. So hopefully this will be interesting. If not, sorry. But we'll get started here. I have a whole bunch of Klein screwdrivers. Big surprise, right? Well, these are the Torx screwdrivers, and I recently picked these up. I don't have a lot of time on them yet, but they're pretty nice. We can see them here. There they go. And this happens to be the T30. And, they're classic Klein screwdriver grip, made in USA. So they have the T27, the T25, the T20, and the T15. So we have those 5 sizes, and I think quality-wise, I like them pretty much. They're pretty nice and handy to have around. I like having them, and when you need something that's Torx, you need something that's Torx, and I don't like fumbling with the magnetic tips if I'm doing something that just requires terminations or mounting stuff or something like that. I like having the actual screwdrivers. So sprung on these, and I've been pretty happy with them. So got those. I like them. Next up, a fun little thing here. This is actually meant to repair fish tapes, but I just keep the end of this in my tools because it's really handy for fishing wires through Panduit and stuff like that. You can tie your wire onto this end and you can shove this end through the Panduit, and you can fish wires through motor control cabinets and stuff like that. So I actually just use this as a short fish when I'm in a cabinet. It's quite handy. Okay, next here we're going to dive into the crimpers that I carry here a little bit. We got a Stakon insulated crimper, and this is handy to have. They have the little stop dealio here, and they got their various sizing there. So this is Stakon Thomas & Betts. That is the ERG 4001. Next up we have the ERG 4002, and this is the non-insulated version. It's got the non-insulated dies in it, pretty much the same tool. The only major difference is this one does not have the stop on it or any of that stuff. But these are nice crimpers. I like having these in the bag, and they are a go-to for me when I'm doing terminating stuff. Also have in here a ERG 4007. There we go. And this one will do number 8 and number 6 insulated wire crimp connectors. I also have used this as a pinch hitter for non-insulated, and it seems to do okay. I know you really shouldn't, but it does seem to work. One of these days maybe I'll see if I can get a non-insulated crimper, but for now I haven't done a lot of non-insulated with these actually, but they do definitely still hold really well. Haven't had any issues with them, but either way, there we go. We have a cable stripper here. This is a Greenlee version. I kind of like this. It's a nice tool. This one has a bit of adjustment on it. You can adjust the thickness of what you're cutting, and you can also, in this particular model, use this lever and turn the knife blade. I don't know if we could see that or not. Try it there. We can turn the knife blade. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. So there, it's linear that way, so you'd be like ringing the cable, and we can turn the knife blade that is linear and then you could like strip the cable. So that's a nice feature. And this adjustment down here just runs the cable diameter piece up and down, and it gives you an idea on the diameter that you're set at. So that's this tool here, and I've had a little while. I'm pretty happy with it. It's held up quite well for me. So you know, there we go. Always got the classic tape measure. This is a Klein 25 footer. You saw I had a Klein 16 footer in the other bag, so that's just one of those things where I had gotten one of each when I got my tape measures, and I don't always carry a 25 footer because they're kind of bigger and heavier and bulkier, and I do kind of like the 16 footer for a lot of things. But you know, when you're doing stuff and you need a 25 footer, it's nice to have one. So regular tape measure. Also have in here a ferrule crimper. Ferrule crimper is just a tool that crimps the outside of the ferrules, and you can see how it works there. It just has these 4 dies that go inside of each other, and it'll crimp the ferrule. Everybody has their assortment of Allen wrenches. I'm no exception. I have these 2 sets here. This is metric and SAE Allen wrenches. Everybody's got them. So there's my set. Have a set of Greenlee tap drills in here. Very handy to have around. This has the chuck in with it. And then we have 632, 832, 1024, 1032, 1224, and quarter 20. So, you know, nice variation of sizes there. These are nice to have, but they are not for thicker metal. If you're just going through sheet metal and stuff like that, nice to use. And I've been using an extension with these whenever I use them, but just to make it easier to not snap them. But overall, these are handy to have in the tool bag, and yeah, there they are. Okay, so digging through the catacombs here, we have a few flavors of stubbies. I have a number 1 Robertson. I have a number 2 Robertson. I have the standard flat blade. Number 2 Phillips. And they came out with a 6-in-1 stubby with a few different sizes in it, and I picked one of those up. This one's actually, I think if you want to get stubbies that are, this one's pretty short. So I mean, it's a nice stubby, and it gives you a bunch of them together. You can see the length here, even with the intended stubbies. It's actually a little shorter than them. You don't have the Robertson with them or any of that, but it is actually a really nice stubby, I think. So yeah, I do actually like this one. So as far as that goes, multi screwdrivers, I normally don't like going to more than the 6 number in my multi screwdrivers, but that would be, you have the different size, the 5/16 and the quarter hex, and there's your number 1 and 3/16, or I'm sorry, quarter straight. So number 1 Phillips and quarter straight, and then here you have number 2 and 3/16 straight. So handy little tool there. Stubbies. Okay, we also have a pretty old school telephone cable tester here. This one battery powered, and I always put a piece of tape over the switch because it always seems to mysteriously get turned on and kill the batteries. So you'll plug your transmitter on one end and it just sends out the signals, and then on the other end here you go and plug this in and the lights will light up and tell you whether it's good or bad. So handy to have in the bag. I am kind of in the market for an upgrade. It's about time. This one's getting a little finicky and what have you. So it's done pretty well over the years. I wouldn't suggest against this if you want a basic one, but I am looking into an upgrade, and if I end up doing more of this sort of thing, I'm gonna probably pull the trigger on that idea. So next here we got 2 styles of cable strippers, just for different size cables. and I don't really use these a lot. This is one of those things that I could probably take out of the bag since I got the other cable stripper, but sometimes when you need them, you need them. So I don't know. We'll see. That's just one of those things. Another tool I have in here is the 110 and 66 block punch down tool. This is not a spring-loaded one, but you do have your 66 block punch down tool with a cutter, and you have your 110 block punch down tool with a cutter. So nice tool to have. And on the other side, I have a basic screwdriver, two different sizes there, straight and Phillips, like we saw before. So just nice tool to have in case you get into the foam stuff. To go along with you know, things that are in your bag, sometimes it's nice to have some extra light. And these Klein lights are pretty nice. They take, I believe it was AAA batteries. They have the magnet on them here, so they stick. This is an older one. I mean, I think they came out with some newer lights that might be USB rechargeable, but I've had this one quite a while, and it's done me well. I think it's a pretty decent light. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and you know, it's nice to have some extra light in the cabinet when you're working in it. So there we go. So another thing I carry is, here we go again with the 6-in-1 stuff. This is a 6-in-1 tap. It's got a bunch of sizes here, 1024, 1224, quarter 20, and then on this side it has 632, 832, and 1032. So it's got a selection of taps there, and this being a standard tap chuck type thing, you could change out the taps that are in here. And it would just be a tap handle for you. So that's kind of a nice thing to have. You know, I normally just use this for cleaning up thread holes. I don't normally actually tap stuff that you're tapping bare with it, but good to have in the bag. Also carry a Torx screwdriver. I've used it on occasion, not a lot, but it is directional, and this is a Husky. And it's been pretty good. It's just a clicker style, screwdriver, and you adjust it here with this little screw dealy. But obviously you don't want to leave it under tension like any Torx device. So I always store it there, and you have your quick connect screwdriver tip end there. So there we go, Torx screwdriver. Speaking of Robertson, we have the 1, 2, and 3 Robertson pair in here, and they're Klein. They're nice to have. The number 3 has been quite handy over the years. I don't know if they make a number 4 or not, but I wouldn't mind picking up a number 4 screwdriver somewhere one of these days, because every now and then you need it. But there we go, 3 Robertsons. Also carry a insulated screwdriver. It looks pretty new and shiny because, we don't really do a whole lot of stuff that warrants utilizing an insulated screwdriver where I work, so that's not been used overly hard, but it is nice having one in the tool bag if we were to need it. Then I have this, I have this demo screwdriver that Klein makes. You can see I haven't really beat it that hard. Fun fact, I don't know for sure if this is connected. Maybe we'll meter it out sometime. But it does say never use on live circuits. So maybe it is. But you shouldn't be working on live circuits anyway. You should be trying to go through and disconnect stuff if you can. We all know what happens now and then, but you should always try and disconnect stuff. Next up, we got some holding screwdrivers, and maybe I'm showing my age, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of guys even know what these are anymore. But we have smaller Twidget style. It's nice to have. And I have I believe this is like a 3/16 equivalent. like a 1/4 inch equivalent, and something between 5/16 and 1/4 equivalent. And these work great. I like these. I use them quite frequently. It's very handy to have these screwdrivers, and you know, you just want to start screws with these. You can see how it works there. It drives these two across each other and they get thicker, and that's what pinches the screw. But you really just want to start stuff. You don't want to kill these things. You want to start your screws and then take this off and use a real screwdriver to get you where you want to go. But there we go. We got a bunch of different sizes of straight holding screwdrivers, not to be confused with the Phillips holding screwdriver. So here is the Phillips holding screwdriver. This style, you would start out with it closed here like this, and you would let this out, and that springs onto the fastener. So there we go, a Phillips style holding screwdriver. Let's see if we can show that a little better. There we go. That opens up on the fastener. So I have a shorter one and I have a longer one. So we got two of them, handy to have. Again, it's one of those things, when you need it, you need it. So got those. Got a Savage level that lights up, handy to have around. These lit billet levels are quite handy if you're above a, in a dark area, above a ceiling, or if you're, in a dingy steel mill. It's nice to have a lit level. Go along with that, I have the protractor. There we go. Digital protractor. Some guys at work had bad luck with these. I really never did. I didn't use and abuse mine that hard, but mine's been holding up pretty well for me, so now I'll probably break it. But overall, I've been pretty happy with this one. It seems to be pretty accurate. It's fairly easy to use. It's, you can do the whole thing, the unit measures, and the, all the fun jazz is on there. But I do actually like this one. This one's been working pretty good for me. Got the flush cutter here. This is a nice flush cutter. It's the Klein flush cutter. They're fairly inexpensive, but they do work quite well. So this is made in USA as well, and this has held up well for me. It's got a decent grip on it, and it's good and sharp. So I do like that. Got the old classic T-stripper here. There we go. And they just work like that. And they have various size things in them there, and just pull the wire off. Pretty self-explanatory. Clamp and stripper. Those are your two sides. Ideal T-stripper. Got the Klein knockoff channel locks here. These are fairly new. I've been just starting to get these in the rotation, but I've been quite happy with these. They've been holding up good. They're a pretty nice addition to the bag. Not a lot of guys have these, so that's why I went with the yellow handle. It's easier to tell everybody's stuff apart then. Also have a tie rop gun, handy to have. Like it a lot. This was something that actually won in a drawing, so I was kind of excited about that. Very seldom ever win anything, so this was nice to win, and it's a nice tool. It's got a clutch in it here for different torque settings. You can spin the head around different places wherever you want it, so you can utilize it. It's nice and smooth. It's it's a really nice tool. I think you can even change out heads and stuff like that. But so there we go, tie wrap gun. You don't realize how much you need it until you use it. It's amazing. Also got to try out one of these newer Klein strippers. Haven't really got a chance to use it a lot. Played around with it a little bit on the one job. So far I'm pretty happy with it, but it's been holding up pretty good. It's just got these knife blades basically in here, and you push the wire in there and you rotate this whole thing around in a circle and strip the cable. So there we go, got one of them to try out. I was thinking about getting the bigger one, but I kind of want to have a job that I need it for. That's normally how I do it. If I need it for a job, I'll get it. So there we go, newer style Klein hand stripper. Also have just a run-of-the-mill Klein Tools battery flashlight. It's LED. You know, it's nice to have a flashlight along sometimes. Get in the area, and this is just a regular flashlight. I don't think this one's magnetic or anything like that. But there we go, flashlight. A few sizes of Twidget screwdrivers. I got the number 0 Phillips, the Super Baby Straight, and the next to Baby Straight there. Handy having these. Don't always use them, but you know, again, when you need them, you need them. And they're good to have. And these are the Kleins. Nice to have. And really all that's left here on the inside of the bag is the metric nut driver set. There we go. And they you know, they serve their purpose. It's nice having the metrics. When you need one, you need one. And Klein does a pretty good job with their nut drivers, I think. I'm a fan of them. Here, this one being the 6mm. They put a notch on them here, so when you're just looking at them on the bench or in your bag or something like that, you yank one out, you can see with the notch in it that it is indeed the metric one. This one being the number 8. This one's seen some use, but it's still a nice nice nut driver. So there we go, set of metric nut drivers. Do have some meters. Start with this meter here. I have the Klein CL900 here, and this has a pretty large clamp ring here on it. I got the magnetic attachment for it. I'm a fan of these magnetic attachments. I like to be able to hang my meter, and these Klein magnets are quite stout and they hold well. This has been a nice meter. It works well for the price point. AC current, no DC on it. I don't believe. Oh yeah, it does do DC. So there we go. You just have to hold in your selection here. I haven't done DC with it yet. There we go. There's DC current. Haven't had a need for it yet, but true RMS meter. You know, you can check frequency, continuity. Looks like it has a capacitor tester in it, the low Z tester that a lot of things have nowadays. So far, this has been a pretty nice meter. It's not a, you know, it's not a everything meter, but having a decent clamp-on meter in the trades is a handy thing to have. So this is one that we have, and maybe we'll do a video since I have the Mager and this here. Maybe we'll do a Klein Tools meter video and which meters to use when and why to have them. So another meter I have here is this one, the MM2300A, and this one is also a true RMS meter. This one I've had for quite a while. It's been a good meter. Voltage, AC, DC, resistance, continuity, diode, and capacity. You know, you just go through the selector there. Low Z, the D-Tech. I forget what the D-Tech is. Either way, doesn't matter. Frequency, you can do duty cycle, or yeah, I forget what that is. This also has the ability, you can hook up a temperature thermocouple to it, and of course some, you know, current monitoring stuff here where you have some lower current stuff that you could pass through this that you know, you could hook up, that if this thing's not really picking it up, you could go to this. So this has been a nice meter to have, and so far it's been holding up good. I hate to carry the Fluke 87 to work and have something happen to it and, you know, get a cheapy replacement from the job site. So I got this thing as a pinch hitter, and I haven't been too disappointed with it. It's been a pretty good meter. So like I said, maybe what we'll do is we'll get out the 3 Klein meters that I have and compare them, and because I have the voltmeter here, the standard voltmeter, the current meter, and a Megger, and maybe we can compare them up and see how they compare to each other for different things. So this one also has the magnet, which I like. There we go. Nice, good, strong magnet. A little dirty, but a little dirt never hurt anybody. So I also carry one of these Klein tools. It's a laser thermometer, or laser thermometer. It's a laser tape measure, and you can just turn it on there. And I am that far away from that. Oh no, that's hitting that bag. So there we go. No, it was getting me. So it's 1.30 feet away from the measuring device itself. So pretty nice little tool. A little quirky, but it only goes 65 feet. It's not super far. That's one thing that I can say, that a little bit of a bummer on it, but you can add it up and get you out of a pickle for what it costs. It's not a bad deal. Also got the new Klein, I don't think I'll be able to show the screen working, but I also got the new Klein digital protractor with the magnets in it. It's quite nice. I like it. It's been working quite well. They did a pretty good job on this. One of the features that I like about it is it takes AAA batteries instead of the some watch cell or something like that, which is really handy for when you're working in the trades, because a lot of times you'll have AAA batteries on the job site and what have you, so it's easy to change the batteries, and you don't have to deal with those watch battery cells. So this has been a nice tool to have. It's got a good magnet. It's got a real nice magnet. And besides that, I just have some lockout tagout stuff, and that actually concludes what I got in that bag. So there we go, just a regular hasp and a breaker lock. So that is everything that I have in the second bag there. It largely, metering and terminating stuff is what I have in that particular bag, and some specialty stuff like the metric nut drivers and stuff like that. Just some stuff that you don't need everywhere, but it's kind of like the second bag on the job, because it's got stuff in it that's handy. So hope you guys enjoyed. It was fun screwing around with another little video to make up. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.